So this is gonna be my reaction to Akala's song World War. Let's begin. So friend.
The World's War, 1884. History. History is written by the winners, true. Sometimes the heroes are of another hue, another religion, another point of view. Are they remembered at all? By who? The World's War, 1884. Scramble for Africa, height of imperial force. European armies go and conquer the globe with a gentleman's agreement to not kill off their own. So massacres in the Congo, all the dead at Amarit sign, nothing wrong though. Some are less dead than others, you know why? It's the same in the grave as it is in this life. The lower grade races, subject people, have a different heaven and hell that's less equal. In the same way, we choose to remember who to lionize and who to forget altogether. Not based upon the sacrifice that they made, but upon the prejudices of the time and the place. So Chinese workers on the Western Front, the dug trenches and then filled in the graves and made their way, carving engravings on shell casings, fade from the story as we tell it today. And gas made its way across the battlefield, choking North Africans fighting for France. They were French enough to die for the flag, but reconcile with history, it seems that we can't. The process of forgetting started at the beginning, cause of the discomfort of who it was that was winning. History is written by the winners, true. Sometimes the heroes are of another hue, another religion, another point of view. Are they remembered at all? By who? History is written by the winners, true. Sometimes the heroes are of another hue, another religion, another point of view. Are they remembered at all? By who? When you have an empire of inferior creatures, what happens when you need them to die like real people? Through the training and the sacrifice might end up believing that they are equal. Go back to the land of the savages, unwilling for subordination for people that they were killing. Quickly they erased them, unmarked graved them, disavowed them of any idea that things were changing. The wrong people that fought for the British flag were not invited to the victory parade. Did the same work, fought in the same war, never got the same bonus when Armistice Day came. Black Americans in segregated units with German POWs treated better than them. Go back to America, Jim Crow and lynching that will greet them when the war ends. Red summer, red summer. Domestic terrorism put them back in their place. Vigilante mobs, clan and the police collaborate while the state look the other way. Liverpool and Cardiff, Barry, London and Glasgow. After the war, similar terrorism war broke hierarchy supposed to be eternal, and for that it could never be forgiven. History is written by the winners, true. Sometimes the heroes are of another hue, another religion, another point of view. Are they remembered at all? By who? History is written by the winners, true. Sometimes the heroes are of another hue, another religion, another point of view. Are they remembered at all? By who?
Okay, first of all, this song is very, very good, and it's very political loaded with political things. And he in the song he talks about different subject with like racism and like segregation, and especially different stuff. In example, in World War, like example World War One, when the French used lots of people from Algeria, and other places like in World War Two, when the British used people from Nepal, and when they have defeated the Japanese and defeated the German, like all the victory parade, no of the other people was invited to the parties because they have different skin colors and this kind of thing. So it's lots of it's lots of this. I think the song really talks about how, because somebody is different from you, because a different skin tone and a different belief, and they always are put in a kind of a box that they show them as more like the villain of the story because they are different. And there is a reason, for example, when they talk about gas, we know that gas weapons was the first time used in a big scale in World War One, and then we know then they use people from other places in the world in the battle to go first in the battle line. And even if they join the French army, even if they join the British army, the British the officers still don't see them as British. They see them as cannon fodder, in some sense. So it's a very very powerful song. It's a very powerful song. It's a very and obviously when you see in the music video, you see a different thing when the woman go in around in the town. You see different papers on the wall. You see different like police brutality. You see, I think you see the tower. You see different things, and obviously also so you really get a very special vibe of this kind of thing, and it's very put in very good. And yeah, so yeah, the Akala's World War is sorry, the song Akala, the song Akala World War. Yeah, it's a very much political thing. It's big with political. And lots of the song what Akala talks about is with the social issue with how is the system. For example, the song often his music talk about what happening in the example in the country, what the country do to other countries, like what England do to other countries, how they export things, they take things from a country, and they give a very bad. You get very bad thing back. You don't get the same trademark and all this kind of thing, and all that build up of the song, because yeah, with the different wars, and wars lead to conflict today because of different historical input, and you also have that with, for example, even still today we still have that view of things. For example, we have that view if somebody have a different style, or maybe more better word to say they have a very other cultural style, other cultural different style compared to that culture that person is in. We still have that view that person is different because this and that and this kind of thing. And I think in some sense the song is about that in some sense, but in other sense it's also about people. And also so I say in the song I say that he talked about people in how the, for example, if example talk about Churchill, that many people like older people, like old people in England think Churchill was a very good person because Churchill fight against against the Germans, and okay, Stalin too, but Stalin also like lots of things we forget when we talk about, for example, Churchill, is that Churchill also have a very racist view. Okay, we say it like this. We make it more easy. He has a very racist view of other people because he also think that was okay to use poison gas in battle, and that is true. And not this, that is totally true. So there was the view of the Europeans that other people from other places beside Japan was lesser equal, because they think, I don't know, that is the very, I think, very complicated thing here, is that how, and that is the reason why I like Akalas and some low key or immortal technique music, because they bring up very interesting subject to talk about. Like even like it's almost like you do a reaction to their music, but it's much more like a historical aftertaste you get from the reaction. I think that is very few musicians who can do this kind of things and can give you a very powerful punch in the face, so it really wake you up to discuss different subject of history and this kind of thing. And so with that, with Churchill, and later on, before that, with in the Congo with Leopold II and the rubber industry and all this kind of thing, and obviously the French in Algeria, and the French. I don't know how much I can say because it's YouTube, and YouTube is very, 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 very sensitive in this part. So I have to be careful here. But if you look up history with French in Algeria, you will see different. You will find out a very gruesome history, what the French done against Algerians. I don't know any good books, but if you look at the internet, you will find about that thing in Algeria. And if you look up Churchill and you read a different book about Churchill, you will find things about Churchill, and you will find a lot of bad thing, a lot of bad thing about what Churchill like. And it's not just Churchill; it's just the time of the high-ranking Europeans officers in Europe in that time period, between World War One, World War Two, before that with the Congo. You will have a very example like the British in China with the Opium War, and this kind of thing. You will have a very, like, England was the first country ever to export drugs, like the powerful drugs, and opium is an extremely powerful drug. So make you hold, okay, okay. So don't talk about about opium wars and this kind of thing. So yeah, that was an amazing song, and yeah, that's what I'm rating. Hope you like it. Yeah, bye.